Welcome to today's explainer. Right now, we're diving into a seriously fascinating and honestly kind of sneaky paperwork glitch. Alright, Section 1. The paperwork glitch. How missing numbers turn your savings into government profit. Okay, so this whole phenomenon is actually called a ghost basis, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The original amount you paid for an investment, what we call your cost basis, basically turns into a ghost. It just vanishes from your tax forms. And when it disappears, well, the government just treats your initial savings as brand new, fully taxable profit. This isn't some crazy complex corporate tax evasion scheme, guys. This is a glitch built right into the everyday paperwork of the system. The expert bringing this massive issue to our attention is Brian, a CPA from Hidden Tax. What's great about Brian is his approach is incredibly practical. He totally skips all that macroeconomic theater and zeroes right in on the actual, tangible paperwork errors that brokerages are just routinely missing. The goal here? To legitimately nickel and dime the system right back so you get to keep your own money. Which brings us to Section 2, the ghost basis trap. Beware the $0 purchase trap. You see, the danger here lives entirely within those little empty boxes on your 1099-B brokerage statements. You know the one, it's the form your broker sends to you and crucially to the IRS at tax time detailing all your trades. So suddenly, the incredibly abstract tax code comes down to just one very tangible thing. If your cost basis is missing, that box doesn't get flagged with a big red warning or anything, it's simply left blank. And wow, here's where the IRS exercises some highly selective optimism. If that box is blank, the IRS doesn't just assume you lost your receipt. They don't give you the benefit of the doubt. Nope. They simply assume you somehow magically acquired that stock for $0, literally zero. Let's compare reality to the IRS view. Just to put this in perspective, say you bought a stock for $50 and later sold it for $100. In reality, your actual profit is just that $50 difference, right? But because of that empty box, the IRS assumes you bought it for $0. So suddenly your taxable profit isn't $50. Oh no, they are taxing you on the entire $100. That innocent little empty box literally creates 100% taxable profit right out of thin air. You end up being taxed on the original capital you already owned rather than just your actual market gains. I mean, you worked hard for that initial $50. And actually, you probably already paid income tax on it before you even invested it in the first place. So the big takeaway here, don't accidentally pay a 100% tax on money you already owned. Brian notes that falling into this trap is shockingly common. In fact, it's the absolute fastest way an average investor ends up dramatically overpaying at tax time without ever even realizing it. Moving on to Section 3, defeating the empty box, how to legitimately nickel and dime the system. Okay, so here is the fix. Step 1. Physically check your 1099-B forms. Seriously, don't just blindly upload them to your tax software or blindly hand them over to a preparer. Look really closely at that cost basis column. Step 2. If you spot an empty box, you have got to hunt down that original buy price. Dig through old trade confirmations, call your broker, whatever it takes. You have to find that number. And Step 3. Manually correct the form. Fill in the basis, stop paying for their paperwork mistakes, and make sure that ghost is a ghost no more. Section 4. Securing your fortress, protecting your wealth, and keeping the math in your favor. Brian leaves us with this really powerful final thought. He says, don't be a victim of missing paperwork. Dig up those buy prices and protect your financial fortress. Because truly, every single dollar saved from an unnecessary tax is just another brick in that wall. You've got to double check the math yourself. Oh, and by the way, if you want more of these incredibly practical defense strategies, Brian shares a ton of them on Hidden Tax. He is absolutely rooting for you to keep your money exactly where it belongs. So, I leave you with this. What's hiding in your empty boxes? Are there ghosts in your tax forms right now just waiting to turn your hard-earned capital into pure government profit? Well, there's really only one way to find out. Pull up those statements, look for the blanks, and secure your fortress. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes open, and I'll catch you on the next one.